Hello friends, it's Taylor and today I have a massive book haul for y'all to somehow get through here. This is literally half of what I have. Alright, so throughout the month of March I have been getting a lot of books, more than I should be, but that's okay, we'll deal with that issue another time. The first 5 are actually ones that I picked up and have shown before. I picked them up when I was in the city at an actual bookstore, so I won't go over in detail with them. I'll link the video below of my bookstore blog. So I have Cinder, the first book in the Lunar Chronicles. Next up I have Six of Crows, the first book in the Six of Crows duology. Thirdly, I got Speed of Life. It is a standalone. Then I picked up History is All You've Left Me. This one's by Adam Silvera. And the last book I picked up is Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, and she's actually a Canadian author, so I'm really excited. I've been reading this one slowly in between some other books I've been reading, and it's really awesome so far. Then I put it in order on Book Depository, which is an awesome website. If you've never checked it out, you should definitely go do that. I got 3 Star Wars books, but I only have 2 right now, so I have the Princess Diaries and the Rogue One graphic novel. I do have another one that I just haven't picked up from the Res office yet at university, but these Star Wars books are going to be for an upcoming video later in the next month or so. So I'm excited to get to these, and I'm really excited for the video therefore. Also on Book Depository, I picked up 3 other books. The first one on that Book Depository order is The One Memory of Flora Banks by Emily Barr. This sounds really interesting. It is about Flora, who has amnesia, so she can never remember anything from the days previous until one day she gets a kiss from someone and she remembers it the next day, and it's the first thing she's remembered since she was like in grade 1, I believe she said. No, it's the first thing she's remembered since she was 10. So it sounded really interesting. Then I picked up The Exact Opposite of Okay by Laura Stevens. It has a really pretty cover. That's not too glary. So this one follows the main character Izzy while she is being portrayed very negatively on a website online, and this book says it is a novel for anyone who calls themselves a feminist and anyone who hasn't. It deals with a lot of girl on girl hate from what I understand, but I think it's going to be an awesome read and a pretty important read. It's covering some pretty important topics like feminism and how girls are treated poorly sometimes. So I think this will be an interesting read and I'm excited to get to it. Then lastly, on my Book Depository order, I picked up Letters to the Lost by Bridge Kimmerly? I'll just show you. So yeah, Letters to the Lost. This one is about Juliet, who writes letters to her mom who has passed away, and she leaves letters on her mom's gravestone. And then Declan, who is doing community service at the graveyard, finds these letters and starts responding to her, and they create this relationship, but as secrets are revealed, it could really ruin the relationship and the trust they've built. So it sounds really interesting, and I don't think I've ever really found a book with such an interesting concept, so I really want to pick this one up. The rest of the books are all ones that I picked up on Amazon throughout the month. Most of them are based off of videos that I saw while on BookTube, so they're just a lot of ones that other people have recommended that I really want to pick up. So that first one that I picked up is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. The reason I picked this one up is in one of the reviews I watched for it, they said it's basically like a young Magneto and Professor X, and I'm a huge X-Men fan, so it's all I need to hear for me to pick this up, so I'm really glad I got this one. Then I got Under Rose-Tinted Skies by Louise Gornell. I don't know a whole lot about this book. What I do know about this book is it portrays a girl who has agoraphobia, which is something I personally deal with, so I really want to see how it's represented in a book, and it's a mental health book, which I think are important stories to be told, and we don't have enough of them, especially less commonly known mental illnesses like agoraphobia. I can't even pronounce it. So basically this girl, the main character, has it, and it makes it very hard for people to go out in public spaces out of fear of having like panic attacks or other anxiety-ridden type things, and she is trying to get over this fear, so to speak, because of this boy that she really likes. So I thought it'd be an interesting read, so I definitely wanted to pick it up, like I said, because it deals with mental illness and personally a mental illness I deal with, so that's why I definitely want to read it, because it's just nice to have books and characters who are going through similar things as you, and to see it represented is really important, in my opinion. Next, I picked up Raven Boys by Maggie Stavarty. Let's put that up here. This is the first one in the Raven Boys series. The reason I picked this one up is read by Zoe read all 4 in one of her readathons that I watched recently, and she just loves this series. Even her dad was saying how much he liked it, so I just really wanted to pick it up and see what it's all about myself, and it sounded interesting from the little blurbs that she was giving during her readathon, so I really wanted to pick this one up, so I did. Then I got Autobiography. It has a beautiful cover, and this is by Christina Lauren. This is an LGBTQ book, which is the main reason I picked it up, but someone on Instagram, I wish I could remember their handle, I feel so guilty, but she wrote a really awesome recommendation for it, so I definitely wanted to pick it up. What I know about this is there is this boy in a writing class, and I believe he's bisexual, he might be gay, I can't remember, but he falls in love with one of the boys in this creative writing class. So I think LGBTQ characters and diverse representation is definitely things we need more of, which is definitely a reason why I picked this one up, and it just sounded really interesting, and I mean also the cover is just gorgeous, so yeah, I'm excited to get to this one. Then I have Wonder Woman by Leah Bardugo. I don't really think there's much explanation that needs to go into this to why I picked it up. It is Wonder Woman. I think it's going to be an awesome book to read, and yeah, a lot of people have already read this book, and I think it's going to be a cool story, even though I know literally nothing other than it's Wonder Woman, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Books are books. And I picked up The Diviners. I did not expect it to be such a gigantic book, but I'm kind of excited about that. How many pages is this even? I'm going to guess like 500. 578. I was kind of close. But this is by Libby Bray. I saw The Clockwork Reader give a recommendation for this entire series, so what I know about it is it's kind of mystery meets supernatural, and in the 1920s? 1929, I think? 1926. So it sounded really cool period piece, lots of cool elements, and it just sounded exactly like something I wanted to read. And I absolutely love The Clockwork Reader and everything she recommends, so I definitely want to pick it up, so that's what I did. Then I got A List of Cages by Robin Rowe. This book, I don't know a whole lot about it and I hadn't heard recommendations, but I did like the synopsis from what I read. So it follows the main character who his elective in high school is to work with the school psychologist. And the school psychologist tasks him with tracking down someone who's kind of been avoiding the psychologist, and it turns out to be one of his old foster brothers, and his foster brother's gotten into some trouble and he wants to help him. And it sounded really interesting. It sounds like it's going to be a heart-wrenching story and lots of adventure, so I'm really excited to read this. Then I picked up Midnight Sun by Trish Cook. The reason I picked this up is the reason I picked this up is because of the trailers just kind of kept getting to me, and I really liked the trailer. So I decided I want to read the book, and I've already read it, and it was actually really good. I'll be reviewing this in my March wrap-up later on in the month. But yeah, I was really excited to pick it up. When I found it, the only thing was I wanted the original cover, and I cannot find it anywhere, so I was kind of disappointed about that. Then I got The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. This book, from what I can tell from the synopsis, is going to be dealing with some very difficult topics of rape. It follows the main character who was raped in her first year of high school, so a freshman, by her brother's best friend, and then the book is told through 4 parts, so her 4 years of high school while she's dealing with what happened to her. So I think it's going to be a really intense book, but a very important subject to talk about, so I'm excited to get to it. Then I picked up We Are Okay by Nina LaCour. I don't know a whole lot about this book. What I do know about this book is the main character is dealing with grief, and so I figured it was another book that's going to represent mental health and well-being, and I definitely am liking reading books like that. I like reading books with important topics, and I think mental health is one of those, so I really want to pick it up and give it a go. I have 4 more books to show you all. The 4th one, in the last 4th, so then I picked up Zenith by Sasha Ellsberg and Lindsay Cummings. It's sci-fi, it's all about women empowerment, and one of them is a booktuber, so I definitely want to give this a go. It's also a nice thick book too, so it'll be good for when I'm traveling this summer for my French immersion program to take a book like this with me. But I'm very excited to get to it. I think it's going to be very interesting to read with that kind of mix of sci-fi meets woman empowerment, which I think is an interesting kind of place to intersect and meet. So I'm excited to get to it. Then I have The Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the original screenplay by J.K. Rowling. I picked this up because I haven't given it a go. I haven't even seen the movies. The last thing I did Harry Potter related was read the 7th book and watch the 7th book. So I want to get back into the world, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous cover, so I'm really excited to pick this one up. And I think it'll be interesting getting back into that Harry Potter world, so I'm very, very excited. The second last book in this month's book haul is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. The sole reason I picked this up is because it is a Clockwork Reader's favorite book, and I absolutely adore her and all her recommendations are amazing. So I wanted to read this to know more about it and see why she likes it so much. The last book I got I am so excited about, and I just picked it up, and that is Child of Blood and Bone by Tomoe, and yeah, we're just gonna show you. But this cover is absolutely gorgeous. The end pages are also amazing. And can we just talk about how beautiful this is? But besides the fact of how gorgeous of a book it is, I picked it up because from what I know about it, which isn't a whole lot, like as you can tell from most of these books, I don't always know a whole lot going into it, but it tells and kind of plays on a folklore, kind of mythical storytelling from, I believe it's West Africa. So this is really going with my goal of reading more diverse books, but also I've studied African studies, so I think it's going to be really interesting for me to read personally. But I'm very, very, very excited. This is my next book I want to read, and I actually lied, I have one more book I picked up. So the last book that I have is They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. I currently have the dust jacket off of it. It is the Book Explosion Book Club of the Month book, and I'm absolutely, absolutely adoring it right now. Can't wait to share my thoughts on it later in my March wrap-up. So those are all the books I got. Lots of them. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you found maybe a few books that you want to pick up. Let me know in the comments below what books you got this month and which ones you're currently reading. Hope you're all having a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!